What is up, everybody? It's me, Ross Pitt, Shark Hunter, back again with the best and brightest Wizzy Puff.
Which is kind of like being called the tallest dwarf. I took that from Heather's.
You are the tallest dwarf out of the two of us. Neither of which are dwarves, but I'm pretty short.
Yeah.
So, welcome back, guys, to Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour. And you know how I know I'm welcoming you back is because we're actually doing a sequel today. That's right. 100 episodes ago, we read a fanfiction called Continue, and it was a wonderful time. Let me tell you, Wizzy. Tell me about it, Wizzy.
Ah, that fanfic was so good. So, in that fanfic, Twilight, she's like battling a bunch of big monsters, I think. I forget what she's battling. She's battling a big old fight, and then suddenly, she blacks out, and she reappears in this void with nothing but a message. Continue? Yes or no? So after that, she's like freaking out. What do you do in this void? Finally, she figures out you have to press the button. She presses, of course, yes, she wants to continue. And then she gets to the character creation screen. I think first she has to put in her name, and then, I forget, there's some good gags there. She has to, like, put on some cool hats and stuff, find Star Swirl's beard. Eventually, she decides not to become a stallion. And then she comes back out of the void, the regular old Twilight. She finds Celestia and Luna and is like, what was that? And they're like, oh, forgot to tell you, buddy. Yeah, so when you die, you get to recreate your character. Only the immortals get to do this. Yeah, they have a good time talking about all the cool stuff they could do. And then finally, in the second chapter, Celestia decides, you know what? Maybe if I press no on the continue screen, it'll be a new adventure. And she presses no. And then as Celestia came out of the portal, she realized she was in Equestria Girls Universe.
Not Equestria Girls Universe.
She had become Principal Celestia, and I think Vice Principal Luna was also there, and they're like, oh boy, what do we do now? And that's where we were taken today.
Bravo, Wizzy, bravo. You know, that was beautiful.
That was beautiful, because that fic was written by
Natural Born Derpy.
Such a good name.
Yep. And you know what else Natural Born Derpy wrote?
What else?
The Only Day.
Was that actually by Natural Born Derpy?
Yep.
You're kidding me. That was such a good fic. Man.
That was a good fic. That was one of the best. Still one of the best.
Natural Born Derpy's got skills. Really creative storytelling.
Yep. They have unfortunately been gone ever since we read Continue.
This is our fault. I am sorry, everyone.
Which was May 2020. I think we read it around that time.
About.
So, yeah, that's my bad. Hope they're doing all right.
We wish nothing but the best for Natural Born Derpy. And we can only hope that they did not succumb to the same events of the Only Day.
Indeed. Anyways, this new fic in this saga is called Select Difficulty by Natural Born Derpy. So, I can't wait to read it. Can you wait to read it, Wizzy?
You know what? I think I could wait a bit.
All right, let's another 100 episodes?
Yeah, I've actually been waiting so long that I've gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to read it anyways.
Okay, thank God. I couldn't wait any longer.
All right. Select Difficulty by Natural Born Derpy. Chapter: The Princess Pancake Maker. Twilight Sparkle found herself standing in a rather familiar place. A large white void whose location remained a mystery. It was known as the Continuation Portal, and after discovering some time ago that all alicorns once bested in battle would find themselves there, Twilight had returned there whenever the mood struck her. She could do most anything there. Change her appearance, her name, change her traits and skills around. She could even spend well-earned friendship points on upgrades and bonuses. Some upgrades were silly, like long beards and pointy fake noses. Others proved more useful, like powerful hidden spells and swords too large for any normal-sized pony to wield.
I would have thought that Discord would have wiped the place of any powerful cosmetics.
Well, it would appear not.
Dang.
And although Twilight Sparkle had more friendship points than she knew what to do with, she returned to the continuation portal not for bonuses or mere gimmicks, but more to contemplate on her life. By that time, her journey felt at an end, her story complete, and what a ride it had been. She honestly couldn't have been happier with how it all came out. Except for this one stray strand of purple hair that wouldn't stop dangling in front of her eyes.
Oh God, she's gonna have a breakdown like a Azula.
Stupid thing. Twilight shouted to no one in particular in the large white void. Get lost already. She had been customizing the image of herself on the screen, her avatar, if you will, for over 30 minutes, and yet still hadn't been able to delete the one stupid strand of mane she wanted gone. While she was there, she'd also, very slightly, recolored her mane and tail, and gave her eyebrows a quick pluck. It was far less painful doing so in the continuation portal than at the spa or mane dresser. She even took a moment to resharpen her horn. Have you ever plucked your eyebrows, Wizzy?
Okay, I have plucked my eyebrows. I'll admit it.
I was just doing it yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your method for not making it destroy every fiber in your being?
Doing it at work.
Oh.
So that I'm more focused on hoping that I don't get a call than I am the thing hurting.
Must be a nice stress reliever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of like punching a punching bag, tearing out your eyebrows.
Totally. She even took a moment to resharpen her horn. Twilight sighed in relief when the job was done, before noticing something on the hovering screen she'd never actually seen before. In the lower right-hand corner sat a flashing box labeled Select Level. Hesitantly, she gave it a flick with her horn, and was immediately flooded with pure nostalgia. The list of titles and accompanying images on the following screen was long, very long, more than 100 at least. And in just a glance, Twilight realized that each and every one of them was from a moment in her life. Her first encounter with her new friends in Ponyville, Nightmare Night, Flim and Flim, sleepovers and dressmaking and talent shows, and everything else that went into a long and happy life. Plus, all the more dangerous moments of her life. Nightmare Moon, Discord, T-Rex, King Sombra, the pre-reformed Starlight Glimmer. All moments categorized in levels spanning from 1 part or 2 or more. Am I doing a good job, Wizzy?
I've really liked your voice, I gotta be honest.
Thank you.
I think it is a very good homage to my tone.
Aw.
It's like exactly the same place that I was at when I was doing that voice.
Oh, well, thank you, Wizzy. Twilight used her horn to hover over these particular villainous levels. Could I really relive these moments over again? She asked the empty room. But would I really even want to? She gave that statement a thought, tapping on her chin.
I guess the benefit would be that I've already done them all before, so then I could perhaps improve my own performance in each.
The highly unusual notion ignited a ball of fire inside her. Without knowing it, Twilight began nodding her head up and down, thinking of each and every possibility. She hovered over the King Sombra Level 1 box and hesitated. Or, rather, she hovered over the
King Sombra, Level 1
box and hesitated.
Nice.
She contemplated just how fast she could defeat him, given a second chance.
Sombra wasn't the worst villain I've ever encountered. At the time of this, he was literally the one you didn't defeat.
Fucking
Oh my
Spike
God.
had to come in and do it.
She just really got in a big head in these later days.
Yep.
Cozy Glow is much worse.
Technically, yeah, Twilight didn't defeat Queen Chrysalis either. Cadence and Shining Armor did that.
No.
But they also helped with Spike defeating King Sombra. So I guess at that
Dang.
point, Shining Armor and Cadence have defeated as many villains as Twilight has at that point in time.
They really don't
So,
need her up in the Crystal Empire. They can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Sombra wasn't the worst villain I've ever encountered.
She thought a tad smugly.
I wonder if I could speed run him this time.
Eventually, she settled on the first Discord level, as thoughts on his upcoming defeat bounced inside her head. Could she possibly use simple friendship on him this time? Shove Fluttershy into his face so hard he had to admit defeat long before he corrupted her friends? The notion sounded tempting. So, after puffing out her chest and taking a deep breath, she selected the icon. A message appeared.
Levels that are replayed will not be saved. They will remain as simulations only.
Twilight was glad to see the note, but not the second one.
Select level difficulty.
Twilight's mouth hung agape. She hadn't been expecting something like this. Below that message were the 3 difficulty options: easy, medium, and hard.
Imagine if, like, in real life, you could view your, like, past most significant moments, and then you see a message that's like, you can replay them, and it's like a message that says select difficulty.
God, I want to do that.
That'd be so fun. As long as I don't have to live through the consequences again. Never again.
Agreed. But what really irked Twilight was that the difficulty had already been set to easy the entire time, right next to a picture of a sleeping Twilight foe.
How dare...
Twilight began, eyes darting around the room before realizing once again that she was completely alone.
I would just love to blame some pony right about now, but considering I can't find anyone to blame...
She hovered over medium and noticed the picture on the side change. Now, one of Twilight as a young adult, minus wings. That only made Twilight huff out her nostrils hotly.
Fine,
She blurted out.
So wings mean hard mode. Then let's do it. Hard mode it is.
The image next to hard was of Twilight as a full adult, dirt and grit and stern expression included.
That's more like it. Hard and Twilight at your service. Discord round 2. Here we go.
Once her selection was in, a spinning portal popped into existence beside her. Twilight energetically dove through it with her war face on. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Twilight's war face disappeared fast. Suddenly, she found herself at the very center of a street, much like Ponyville, It was a bright, beautiful day there, and ponies all around her went about their business as usual. None took any mind of the large floating screen hovering directly in front of Twilight. It read,
"In order to access hard mode, the tutorial stage must be completed."
Twilight tilted her head to the side in confusion.
Tutorial? What? But I've already beaten Discord before. I'm not new to this hero stuff. I basically do this for a living already, so...
She halted herself. She was yelling at a screen that couldn't answer back.
Fine. What's the mission, then?
The mission, or tutorial stage, was called Coffee Run, and, as far as the level description made it out to be, all Twilight had to do was get a plain, black, medium cup of coffee from the coffee shop directly ahead of her. The coffee shop in question was called Coffee Shop.
Severe lack of imagination in the tutorial stage.
Twilight mused, before noticing a large picture of the Minotaur known as Iron Will next to the coffee shop's name. On his face was a big goofy grin, and in his hand was a steaming cup of joe.
That's better,
Twilight said, taking a step towards the coffee God damn it.
That's better,
Twilight said, taking a step towards the coffee shop. Fuck it. It says coffee shop now. Deal with it.
I mean, the sign does say coffee shop.
Yes, but the sentence actually says shop.
I know.
Just shop.
It can be, the word can be removed in post.
It would sound like taking a step towards the shop.
That was a good imitation.
Thank you.
Still, even for a tutorial, this is rather disappointing. Oh well, this should only take a minute.
Then, with a slight spring to her step and a mild grin on her face, Twilight Sparkle entered Iron Will's coffee shop, and happily asked for 1 medium black coffee to go. And go she did. Right out of the shop's window, and back out onto the street with a fat thump. With a grimace, Twilight opened her eyes and glanced up and down the street. Not a single pony looked her way or noticed the fresh shards of glass now littering the road. It was a simulation, after all. Twilight got back to her hooves.
What do you know? Hard mode is actually hard.
She then cracked her neck from side to side.
Maybe this time I'll try ending my order with pretty please.
13 painful attempts later, and Twilight Sparkle finally managed to complete the tutorial stage with most of her medium coffee in tow. She even ended the mission by blasting through the coffee shop's back entrance while yelling in triumph.
Thanks for the pick-me-up, Iron Will. Sorry I forgot the tip.
With the tutorial done, Twilight reappeared in the continuation portal. Her bruises and scrapes magically healed. Sadly, her hard-fought medium-hot beverage also disappeared alongside them.
Man.
What if she was supposed to get a hard hot beverage?
Oh.
It's like easy, medium, hard.
Yo, she gets some like hot spiked cider.
Huzzah! Take that, hard mode.
Twilight celebrated with a few quick twirls before facing the screen again.
Tutorial complete,
It read, and beside that,
90% perfection achieved.
Twilight's momentary glee left the room.
Wait, 90%? What the hey does that mean? I finished it, didn't I? You know how much hot coffee I just spent spilling on myself?
Then she read the small font that was the tutorial's optional objectives. 1. Don't let the health drop below 70%. 2. Don't let coffee get cold. 3. Perform at least one coffee-related pun during the mission.
Yo, that should be a requirement of like most conversations.
Absolutely. At least Twilight had successfully achieved the last objective, but not the other two. She rolled her eyes and sighed.
I didn't even know I had to do those. And why even include them if I can complete the mission without even attempting them? Who are these even for? Hard-nosed perfectionists?
Yes.
She pondered on that, glaring back at the screen.
How much do you like to do 100%ing of games?
Well, I usually should do more of that. It's weird how little of that I do, considering how I always, if there is an objective, I have to complete it 100% to perfection. Like if there's like an app on the game store and the levels ask me to get 3 stars, I have to get those 3 stars.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with games like on the App Store. But when I was playing Celeste, I wanted to get all the strawberries, but that game is so difficult with just doing it regularly that I was like, okay, if I see a strawberry, I'll get it. If I don't see the strawberry, I will ignore it.
That is something I will also do.
Yeah.
I think I 100%ed Spider-Man PS4.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I was like obsessed enough to do that.
I remember after being Saints Row 2, it had said like 52% complete or something like that. And I was like, what? This is only what half of the objective is?
Wow.
I can live with 90%, can't I? Sure I can, because I got more important levels to beat. Sure I do.
When Twilight's eye twitched uncontrollably, she knew she had a problem. 37 coffee break attempts later, Twilight Sparkle finally managed to bag her sweet and complete 100% perfection trophy. Far more tired than before, she rewarded herself a faint pat on the shoulder before soldiering on. To
Discord Level 1.
of course. To get ready, Twilight lowered herself to the ground in an attack formation. This was hard mode after all. She'd have to bring everything she had over the next few minutes. She hardened her jaw as she leapt through the level's portal, only to come shooting out of it just as fast.
How hard do you think a hard mode Discord could be?
Well, considering how Discord can already literally do anything, pretty fucking hard. The purple lump on the ground resembling Twilight wheezed out painfully.
I lost that fast? But I never lose. How's that even possible?
Rising to sit on the floor, Twilight thought over the recent battle that had ended far too quick.
Jeez, is hard mode Discord even nastier than easy mode Discord? He punched me right in the face with all 4 limbs, while tickling my stomach with his tail. I really need to strategize this. One-on-one doesn't seem like the best bet here. So, what would the Princess of Friendship do in this type of situation? Befriend the nefarious creature before he attacks at all?
Using her horn to the screen, Twilight found the perfect bonus to use. For a mere 150 friendship points, Twilight purchased the item simply known as Best Gift Ever. Wait a minute. That's the title of a thing.
Oh?
That was the name of a special. Best Gift Ever.
Okay.
Oh, I think I might know what this is then. Well, we'll see. For a mere 150 friendship points, Twilight purchased the item simply known as Best Gift Ever. A item that customizes itself to whomever it is gifted to, instantly becoming the most thoughtful and heartwarming gift to that particular individual.
I'm gonna make you so happy you're gonna cry, Discord.
Twilight declared with a new item in hoof. Regretfully, The only tears were from Twilight Sparkle as she exited the portal some 30 seconds later.
He just ate it.
He didn't even open it?
But I wrapped it and everything. What a... Holy moly, his hard mode Discord a pain in the flank.
Next came Twilight's attempt using stealth, complete with a newly purchased black stealth suit. And, while the latest attempt did prove better, Twilight was defeated nonetheless.
I really thought that Discord was going to get to maybe do some talking.
Yeah. I thought that literally anybody else was going to get to do some talking at some point.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the epilogue from the last story, might I add.
It does not. Or, like, 3/4 of the character tags.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what's going to happen with those guys.
Hopefully they'll talk.
Yeah.
Next came Twilight's attempt using stealth, complete with a newly purchased black stealth suit. And while the latest attempt did prove better, Twilight was defeated nonetheless.
Ridiculous.
Twilight pouted with her hooves locked tight across her chest.
So Discord can just snap his fingers and turn all ponies into dust?
Of course he could. Why couldn't he?
That's not even fun chaos. That's just messy chaos. Like, who's gonna even sweep all that up? I know Discord won't. What a messy, messy world he created.
She sighed out angrily.
Maybe I'm overthinking this whole thing. We beat him with the elements of harmony on easy mode. Why should that change on hard mode?
Less than a minute later, Twilight again returned to the continuation portal, not at all pleased with the results.
He dodged?
How do the elements of harmony work? Are they dodgeable?
Not that we've seen. Every villain we see just looks at him and goes, "No!"
It's just like a blinding light that turns people to stone and stuff.
Yeah. But I guess he could dodge.
Man.
He dodged?
She fumed.
Since when can someone dodge the elements of harmony? I'm calling shenanigans on this level. I must have set this thing to nightmare mode or something.
She checked. She, in fact, had not. Regrouping herself, Twilight formed a yoga-like position on the floor.
All right. What do I know? I can't let Discord use his fingers, claws, toes, or paws. I also can't let him get away or move around all that much. I also can't get too close to him, otherwise he'll just sucker punch me again. Meaning...
She glanced at the large screen again and smiled at her latest purchase. 20, far more enjoyable, minutes later, Twilight exited the Levels portal and calmly set down her incredibly large and expensive ultra-sticky glue cannon. And true, while it did feel a bit cheap using such an overpowered item during a past level, she thought that Discord just flat out deserved it.
Fair.
During her 12th attempt, he'd stuck her nose against his armpit while he tap-danced around town for half an hour. Despite weekly therapy, Twilight knew well enough that moments like those would haunt her for life. On screen now happily read,
Level complete. 70% perfection achieved.
Twilight waited off. Getting 100% perfection with Discord could wait for some future rainy day, because now she was more interested in... From the windowsill, Twilight Sparkle watched as Queen Chrysalis, currently disguised as Princess Cadence, happily sauntered around her dressing room while singing her trademark song. Wizzy?
Oh my god.
Have you listened to This Day Aria?
To what?
This Day Aria?
I have not.
Well, this'll be fun.
Every pony will gather round, say I look lovely in my gown.
Close enough. Chrysalis sang most beautifully. Up until that point of the day, Twilight Sparkle had played the fool most spectacularly. But honestly, it hadn't required all that much acting on her part. Easy mode Chrysalis made it more than clear to just about anyone that something wasn't quite right at Shining's wedding. Hard mode Chrysalis, she managed to act more Cadence-like than Cadence ever could. Truth be told, Twilight could have spent the rest of the day with this particular Chrysalis Cadence, perhaps ending it all with a hot fudge sundae while the pair braided each other's manes.
Very nice.
Yet that wasn't Twilight's mission objectives for this level. Perhaps another time. Queen Chrysalis continued.
What they don't know is that
I have fooled them all.
Twilight joined in, leaping off her windowsill to level a hoof at Chrysalis.
Show's over, Queen.
Before she could even finish her sentence, Chrysalis screamed.
children attack.
And out of every nook and cranny in the room came changeling after changeling, salivating from the mouth and roaring. Twilight managed one lone
Mep.
before landing back in the continuation portal.
Well, that sure hurt.
Twilight lamented sourly.
Note to self. Getting torn apart by love-starved changelings hurt more than I thought it would.
Hey, wait, how did she have changelings? Chrysalis was the only one who could get into the portal. Or, not the portal, the Canterlot. Because they had, like, a big old shield around.
Oh. Well, hard mode. Now they don't have the shield.
I suppose.
Note to self. Getting torn apart by love-starved changelings hurts more than I thought it would.
She then geared herself up again.
Okay, Chrysalis. No more showboating. I've got a wedding to save.
By attempt 55, Twilight was sure she had it all down. It was simple repetition and memorization, both heavily in Twilight's wheelhouse. What made hard mode more difficult was that Queen Chrysalis wasn't just satisfied with appearing as only Cadence and herself. Now she appeared as gods, friends, plants, sofas, Celestia, and even once as Twilight herself while she was looking in a mirror. That's creepy.
Yo, it's, this isn't me. That isn't me.
That isn't me.
That isn't me.
Regardless, Chrysalis was still helpless against Twilight's steel trap of a brain.
Turn left.
Twilight told herself as she hurriedly navigated Canterlot's vast castle tunnel system.
Turn right. Dodge. Punch.
She kicked a random changeling drone into a wall before coming across two more wedding guests.
Pony, pony, changeling, duck.
She narrowly avoided a blast from Chrysalis up the hallway.
Waiter, pony, hidden changeling behind the statue, and that should do it.
One very shell-shocked Chrysalis stood before her, back pressed into a stone wall. There was no way out, exactly as Twilight had planned.
Curses!
Chrysalis shrieked.
You'll never take me alive, you purple brat!
As both mares got ready for the fight, an unfamiliar voice filled Twilight's ears.
Player 2 has entered the game.
And just like that, the real Princess Cadence took her place beside Twilight. Cadence huffed some mane out of her eyes before greeting Twilight.
Don't mind if I join you, do you, Twi?
Twilight was at a loss for words. You knew about revisiting past levels already? And about hard mode?
Cadence smiled sweetly.
Not so much the hard mode part, but yes, this is a memory I tend to play often. Difficult to understand why, though. Punching Chrysalis in the face repeatedly? Odd how much lighter I feel after a good scrap with her.
Unfair!
Chrysalis exclaimed.
2 against 1!
You should have thought about that before ruining my wedding.
Ooh.
Now I'm going to kill you for that offense. And that solely, that's it. You did nothing else wrong.
I'm sure she has done that several times. Killed her.
Yeah, man. She can be really evil for someone who's all about love.
Hey, she ruined her wedding.
Yeah. Happiest day of her life ruined.
Cadence informed her bluntly before turning to Twilight again.
I just purchased this bonus from the continuation portal. It's called Super Slow-Mo. Care to try it out with me?
Twilight nodded, and soon the most epic slow-motion hoof fight ever began between two princesses and a queen. And with well over 100,000 bits in virtual property damage, optional objectives be damned. And finally, several minutes later, Twilight and Cadence were reunited with shining armor.
Well, if it isn't my two favorite mares.
Shining greeted them brightly.
What a day.
Twilight went in for a hug while Cadence kissed him on the cheek. The three stood there for a moment, until Shining said again,
Well, if it isn't my two favorite mares. What a day.
Cadence explained.
That's the trouble with simulations. Only so many lines of dialogue for virtual characters.
Back in the continuation portal, Twilight purchased them both a bottle of Ponyade from the screen and then took a moment to ask.
And here I had no idea other alicorns could complete levels together. Well, to be fair, up until just now I had no idea about replaying levels at all.
Cadence smiled warmly.
The secrets to alicorns never seems to end, do they? And, by the way, I hope you don't mind if I invited a few more players. Oh boy.
And as if they'd been there all along, Princess Celestia and Luna appeared.
Well,
They were smart, too. They'd brought their own Ponyade to drink.
Okay, so this means that this is in between the epilogue and the prequel.
Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
Unless they explain that it isn't.
Oh, maybe.
After brief greetings, Twilight asked the newcomers.
How'd you both get back here so fast? That weird windmill trick again?
Yeah, just jumping off of a windmill. I forgot about that.
Oh, that was funny. If a bit dark. Funny in like a Happy Death Day 2 sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Happy Death Day series?
No, I haven't.
You should, it's good.
The name is a little bit, silly sounding, so it kind of turned me off.
Yeah, I expected it to be more like, or at least to feel more like one of those, like, Truth or Dare, which was crap. I expected it to be more like that, but no, it's really interesting and fun and cool.
Nice.
Celestia shook her head. Don't be so barbaric, Twilight. That windmill has seen better days. Plus, Luna and I have an even better way of getting here now. In the Canterlot Gardens, there's a place both Luna and I can lie down, cut a rope, and get hit with a 2-ton boulder. The Princess Pancake Maker, I call it.
That's what this
Good
is.
God. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was going to be like one of the princesses is a pancake maker, like they're actually making pancakes. I thought I had a very innocent assumption about that title.
I thought it was like just a random person who made pancakes for princesses.
Oh, that would make sense too.
You know what else makes sense? This. Much faster than the windmill ever was. And it's become quite the tourist hotspot, actually. As long as you stay out of the splash zone, obviously.
Ugh.
Twilight grimaced.
I really can't tell if you're joking or not, so I'll just move on. Cadence, how'd you end up here so quick?
Shining.
Cadence explained casually.
I just had him do what he did against Sombra.
Oh, God.
Throw you into the air like a javelin? Why would that send you here?
I wasn't realizing that's what she meant. I simply don't open my wings this time around.
She then thought on that.
I really should have explained this all to Shining before I asked him.
Oh, God.
Oh well, I just really wanted to play that chrysalis level with you, Twilight. It was fun. Oh my
Poor
god.
Shining! Cadence, you cunt.
Doesn't their love, like, kind of represent something big in the kingdom?
Yeah. Their love is huge.
I think the kingdom's gonna fall apart, the whole Crystal Empire.
We'll see. But yeah, probably. Unless Spike can turn it back around.
Yo!
Maybe he's over there consoling his brother. Twilight turned to Celestia and Luna.
Any level we'd all like to play again? On hard mode, I mean.
It was soon clear Tyrek was going down once more, this time against all 4 alicorns, and not just one. Before entering the level, Luna changed into her Nightmare Moon skin, while Celestia became Daybreaker. Neither actually increased their strength or gave them any new abilities in any way, but they both definitely looked more threatening now.
Should we adjust the alicorn power dials before we begin?
I love that. That was beautiful.
That's been one of my favorite voices to do since I was like 6.
Aww. Little Wizzy just going around sounding like Droopy Dog.
Yeah.
Luna asked the group, "Maybe if we lose the first round?" Celestia answered.
Can't forget my purchase,
Kate said, quickly tying her mane up with a simple scrunchie to form a ponytail.
You know how annoying it is fighting with a bunch of mane in your eyes.
Anything extra for you, Twilight? Celestia asked her. Twilight declined. 4 against 1 already sounded stacked enough. Until they all entered the level and Tyrek instantly backhanded her into oblivion. Following that, Twilight purchased the Fire Breath perk, as well as the Unbreakable Lasso, and after much, much deliberation, due to its cost, the Friendship Rocket Launcher with unlimited ammo.
OP.
Author's note. Herp-de-derp derp. Natural born derpy in his natural Canadian speak. Means thanks for reading. That was Select Difficulty by Natural Born Derpy.
Whoa!
Well, Wizzy, what did we think of it?
This was such a good sequel.
Yeah.
I think it could have been a little bit better if we actually got to see more of the fighting the bosses and stuff. That would have been fun.
I would have liked that. Oh well. What happens, happens. Yeah, I rather liked it. You know, it's hard to choose between this one and the first one, because they both do such fun, things with their little ideas and stuff. I think this is the perfect, sequel to it, frankly. I'm glad that we read it.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite parts was the chapter name being The Princess Pancake Maker, and then it barely showing up at the end there. It really feels like listening to an album that's titled something, and then you get to the one song that has the one line that is the album's title.
Yeah.
In Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette, when you get to the song You Learn, and she just says Jagged Little Pill, and it's like, oh, that's why the album is named that.
That makes sense now.
I gotta wonder what they meant by the Princess Pancake Maker being a popular tourist place. Did they mean people watching them use it, or people using it themselves? Because that would be sad.
No, Wizzy. I think you mean, do ponies watch them use it, or do ponies use it themselves?
Okay. I still don't like either of these.
Anyways, it mentioned the splash zone, so I would assume it's a popular thing for them to watch.
Yeah, that's
the Celestial Luna thing.
That's what I was leaning toward.
Oh yeah, that was a great fan fiction, a great follow-up. Very glad we read it, finally. Really wish that you had read it.
I should have at least played Twilight if you were being the narrator this time, I think, but it was...
I don't like to switch voices.
Yeah.
I didn't even like switching the narrator, but I did it for you, Wizzy, because I accidentally got you hyped to read this. And yeah, I thought it was your turn, and then I realized, oh, it's not your turn.
Yeah, I think it was because we did that thing with the last couple episodes.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say.
I am upset that they did not have Nightmare Moon or even Daybreaker as an option in the villain select.
I mean, Daybreaker makes sense, but Nightmare Moon, yeah. Thinking back on it,
Or Cozy Glow.
did they not? I guess not. Because, yeah, Discord, I guess, was the first one, yeah? Yeah.
I bet they probably actually had it, just, not mentioned in the fic. That's what I'm going to go with.
Or maybe they did mention in the fic and we just ignored it.
That's true.
So, I agree with you about the Nightmare Moon thing. But that was fun. Hope to read other fun stories like that again.
Had he mentioned to click the link?
Nope, did not. And if you want to continue this story, you can go down in the description yourself and read it for yourself.
Oh, man.
Or if you want to level select not continuing this story, you could just give it a like instead.
I hope they go back and do it like hard mode this time, where you take off your glasses and try and read it.
For some people, that's easier.
That's true. But let's see you people who are dependent on glasses.
All right. Well, that's all I have to say about that. Wizzy, you have anything else?
I think I have said everything that there is to say.
Ever in the world? Are you going to shut up finally?
No, I'm just going to be repeating stuff now.
God damn it. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, just give us whatever likes you can. Any sort of podcast app or even YouTube, just go to that and whatever you can, just like us. Please, I need validation.
Please.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Let's get some room tone. And then let's get some scream tone. And then let's get some stab tone. And then let's get some falling off a cliff tone.
Hey, could you get my picture? I'm just going to back up on this cliff. What?
And then let's get some seeing the most terrifying goddamn thing you've ever seen in your life tone.
Well, that happened.
And then let's get trying to convince Ross to actually start the episode tone.
Ross, can we please start the episode? It's been 20 minutes. No, actually, it's been longer than 20 minutes since we started this call. What am I saying?
And then let's get some Wizzy being denied that tone.
That was perfect.
All right, let's start the episode.